Hello and welcome to the United Stand. This is our Manchester United versus Leicester City fan phone-in, which we'll be taking in a moment. But first of all, we've just heard from Jose Mourinho, which is absolutely amazing. If you're not a Jose Mourinho fan, I think you should be. Because I thought he was fantastic tonight, what he came out and said. And all we've ever really wanted from Jose Mourinho is a bit of positivity, a bit of honesty and a bit of positivity and a bit of passion. And we got that in his team, you know, 4 small little glimpses like he said, but also his reaction when we scored goals were fantastic. His positivity when he walked into Old Trafford off the bus was good. And then what he's just come out and said after the game was absolutely fantastic. And if you've not heard it, I'll let you know what he basically said. He said there was glimpses tonight of the football they wanted to play. Tick, he's right. He said, I wanted to bring Martial on, but I didn't have enough changes. I had to bring Pogba and Fred off because they didn't have their legs in them. And obviously Lukaku for Rashford. But I wanted to get Martial for Mata or Sanchez. I just couldn't make another change. Tick, we wanted to see that happen as well. He spoke about Leicester. He said they've invested more than we have this summer. It isn't a surprise that they came and they played quite well. He also said that we are going to have a difficult season. It is going to be a difficult season. He spoke about the lack of investment. He said it's the last time he's going to mention it, which is right because the transfer deadline is closed. But he said, I didn't get the players that I wanted. And I'm really a head coach. I'm not a manager anymore. Those decisions have been taken out of my hand. What am I supposed to do? It's difficult. I made plans and those plans didn't come to fruition. Bigger question at Manchester United. A few people have mentioned it. I heard Gary Neville mention it tonight as well. Who is making the decisions at Manchester United that Jose Mourinho is wrong about his selections, considering there are no football people on the board because they're not speaking to Sir Alex or Sir Bobby? Who is doing that? However, maybe Mourinho's targets were Boateng and Willian, and maybe the club wants to go younger in its targets. I don't know. But Jose Mourinho clearly making it obvious that he hasn't got the players that he wanted to have. Spoke positively about Luke Shaw, said he made one mistake in the game and said that in a positive way. Got the goal, great. And also, the best of all, he singled out Andreas Pereira for a mention and said he was absolutely fantastic, playing as a right midfielder for Valencia last season and now running the midfield for Manchester United at Old Trafford. Really encouraged by that. Really encouraged that Mourinho seems to be, if you listen to the United Stand over the last few months, listening to what you are saying, listening to what the greater United fans are saying. We want positivity off him. He hasn't got the support of the board. You need to get support of the fans, Jose, and you'll get that by doing that tonight. I can live with that sort of performance tonight, with the glimpses, if we build on it. I can live with Mourinho and the manager he is if he gives us some positivity back. He gives us some honesty. If he feeds the fans, he will get the love back. And he got a lot of love back from me tonight. I thought it was really, really good. I was very emotional when Luke scored. Someone who never gives up will always be rewarded. Positive for this season. Andreas is so versatile and good at the same time, says Sheris Kamath Finesse. That's great. You can get your calls in. It's his Skype Goldbridge, all one word. I'm going to take some of your calls right now. I'm a Leicester City fan, but well done. Best of wishes for the rest of the season, says Reap Gaming. I think you'll be all right at Leicester. I think there's a massive amount of improvement in the mid-table clubs this season. The West Hams, the Leicesters, the Watfords, the Wolves. There's going to be some real competition there. So I wish Leicester all the best as well. We parked the bus at home against the small clubs, says Stepney. Well, call in and have your say. I've had my say. I think it's 3 points at the end of the day, and that's what I'm happy with. A win is the most important thing. They done well, says Alan Cave. Fred was shocking, says Banaras. Maybe people want to talk about that. Love the new training shirt, says Irad. Let's get some callers on because we've got people calling in now. Let's start off with, if I can get him. There he is. Harry, can you hear me? I can't take that call. It's just, it sounds like a helicopter. You can call in, but if you're going to call in, make sure you're... it's decent quality. This is live content at the end of the day on the YouTube. Justin, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
How you doing, pal?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. So what do you want to talk about?
I just wanted to talk about Mourinho. I thought I hadn't heard the press conference, so I thought that was really good, everything he said there. Just some positivity, We haven't had enough of that around the club.
What did you think about the game tonight?
I thought there were a lot of positives, and well, I'm going to first say that I've never been a Mourinho fan. I was not a fan when he was at Chelsea, and I was not a fan of the appointment when they appointed him at Man U. So I thought the midfield was absolutely fantastic. Pogba, really commanding, saw him as a leader. The Fred was really energetic, and Pereira was probably my man of the match. I thought he was just brilliant. But again, it's like they're just controlled by Mourinho, and I don't understand that.
Well, I mean, you said Pereira and Pogba there, and Mourinho said those things as well. He was very openly praising of Pereira and Pogba. He said he's only been training for 3 days. He said that Fellaini had said to him, I can only give you 10 minutes, and Mourinho said, well, I need that 10 minutes. So a lot of players very, very much not really near fitness for Manchester United. But you say controlled by Mourinho. What do you mean that? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I mean, too many times in that game, I just saw a line across, like about 10 yards in front of our center backs. You just had Pogba, Pereira, Fred, and they weren't even pressing. And it was at the point where it didn't even look like it was their decision. It just looked like they were afraid what would happen if they tried to venture forward. And there was one moment in that second half that really just like summed it all up for me, where we were just sitting back and Leicester's center backs or whatever were just playing with the ball. And Fred just looked like he had enough of it. And he just sprinted at Maguire, whoever it was back there. And he passed it on one more time. And then I think Wes Morgan made a mistake and Sanchez won the ball back. And it's like, yes, that's what we want to see. We don't want to see, if you're going to play this defensive shape, then there has to be a point where you press and you try to go make something happen.
Definitely. I'm going to be very quick on the calls tonight because I want to get as many in as possible. But thanks for calling in, Justin, and really good points.
All right. Thank you.
Cheers, Justin. And what Justin's saying there is actually spot on as well, because that won't be from the players. That will be from the manager. You know, if you play in a football team and you're a midfielder, if you look at the way Liverpool or City play, they'll go and press the ball like Fred did in that instance. United have been told not to press. We don't press under Jose Mourinho, so that will be right. I saw a comment there from Tyrone Williams in the live comments saying that Eric Bailly was his man of the match. Sky actually gave it to Luke Shaw, which I thought I thought Luke Shaw won us the game, so I can sort of see why that happened. But for me, I would have given it to Eric Bailly as well. I thought Andres Pereira was good as well. Ryan, can you hear me? Hello? Hello? That's a shame, because he's been trying to call in for ages, and then you pick up the phone, and he doesn't speak. Let's see if we can get Kenneth on. Kenneth, can you hear me?
Good afternoon, Mark. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. You?
Good. I was just calling just overall about, I guess, the positivity that we should feel currently after winning that game 2-1. Should have been 2-0, but, a 2-1 victory, I'll definitely take it, especially after the last couple of months we've had with the transfer window and the Glazers and everything like that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just wanted to add something in as well, which you can come back on as well. Jose Mourinho was also sort of asked about the title, and he said, look, we'll have to see where we are in November, and then we can assess whether we're in a title race, which, again, was another positive for me, because I've been saying that a lot. I won't start saying we can win the title in August or September. It is going to be about where we are in October, November time. So that was good as well. And what you said there about the Glazers and stuff like that, very refreshing to Jose Mourinho to say, look, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I had plans. I can't do those plans now because they didn't give me the players I wanted.
I agree. You can only control what you can control. And when the window slams shut, it slams shut. So there's no point in fussing and arguing over spilled milk anymore. So I guess my point is I've been a Manchester United fan for many, many years. And I guess the expectation is to always win the league. The expectation is to always challenge in the Champions League. We're the biggest club in England by far, and one of the biggest, if not the biggest club in the world. So to have any different expectation is kind of unrealistic. But if you ask me, I don't think we can win the league, but we should be striving for that. And I think I'm coming around to the squad a little bit more after seeing what I saw this game, especially those first 15, 20 minutes. But in classic Jose fashion, we kind of got 1-0 up early, and then we kind of revered back to what we saw last year after Liverpool, which is a little disheartening, but I do think that there are glimpses of what we can be at our peak. So I guess I'm very, very excited. I'm still upset with the Glazers. I don't think they should be owning our club. They also own an American football club with a salary cap, so it's a little different. But watching them from the States, what they do with American football, I think they're going to destroy the club, but it's no longer here nor there. I'm just happy to see some football back. I'm happy to see Jose smiling a little bit more, and I love to see Pereira get a chance. Fred is a refreshing midfielder. I think the midfield played very, very well. I think we haven't seen a midfield play that well in quite some time. So I think we are a little taken aback, but they did play up to par or to standard, in my opinion. I think we can do something this year.
Kenneth, I could talk to you all night. I'm going to try and keep every call to around 2 or 3 minutes. So we're hitting 3 minutes now. But thanks for calling in. And I agree. Let's be positive.
Absolutely. Thanks for the show, Mark. I appreciate everything you do, even on holiday.
Cheers, pal. Thanks for the call.
All right.
And I agree with Kenneth as well. I think, look, Jose said it himself. You're not wrong if you're concerned. You're not wrong if you've got your doubts. But we've got 3 points today. And you know, Leicester were a decent side, and Jose's right. They've spent more money than us. So we are going to, I hope this season we are going to see an improvement in the quality of opposition in this league. I remember when we had Ross on last season, and he was saying that the quality of the Premier League this season, it's a bit of a pub league. Below the top 4 or 5, everybody's easy to beat. I'm hoping with teams like Wolves investing, Everton investing, even Leicester, even teams like Watford, even Fulham, they might not be pushovers for teams like Liverpool, Man City, ourselves, and it will make it a much better competitive league. I'm hoping that's what we're going to see. Can't wait to see Dalot, says Maverick Bowles. Well, yeah, look, Darmian was rubbish tonight, but I would give him a pass. I would give him a free pass. There was nobody else to play. Why pick on the lad? You know, I wouldn't have a problem with him at all. Patrick, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello, you're live on the United Stand, mate. What do you want to talk about?
I just want to talk about the game, really, and just how we played in that game.
Yeah, go ahead. What were your thoughts?
First of all, I felt like Andres Pereira, for me, felt like a new signing. I thought he was absolutely brilliant in the midfield, running that midfield. I thought Fred was absolutely amazing as well. He's tenacious in the tackle, running up and down the field. I thought it was great. Pogba as well, only having 4 or 3 days training. I thought he was great as well. And I think having Matic back in that midfield would just ruin it and have a more of a slow tempo to the game. Because if you put Matic back in for Pereira, the thing about Pereira is when he gets the ball, he gets the ball quick and he passes the ball left and right quick and he's always looking forward. You bring Matic back into that team and he's just slow, he's lethargic, and he'll just play the ball left and right and he'll slow the tempo right down. So I think Pereira was really good tonight and he was my man of the match, really.
And the only positive thing I would say about that, well, positive and negative, is positive, Jose Mourinho wasn't even asked about Andres Pereira and brought him up as a topic and said he was fantastic. So that would show to me that he really trusts him. The negative, I suppose, is that there's no way he's not going to play Matic. He loves Matic. So, but I would agree. I think that, you know, I think the midfield were good tonight. I think the criticism they got from some fans is people who don't understand that Rashford just didn't hold the ball up, so the midfield couldn't really support him. But they battled the Leicester midfield and they did really well. What were your thoughts on Alexis Sanchez? Because I know he's a bit of a divider. Just very quickly before we get the next caller on, what did you think about Alexis Sanchez tonight?
I thought Sanchez, with having a full pre-season, I thought he'd be fresh and raring to go, but he looked a bit leggy. I don't know, he looked a bit heavy on the ball. I thought he grew into the game as the game went on, but I still think last season he's gives the ball away a lot. All of his passes sometimes are a bit short, they're a bit long, they're not accurate, they're not pinpoint passes that we expect from him, because he is a world-class player, and that player that we saw at Arsenal before, that quality player that can drive at defences, I just feel that we're not seeing that yet. But I think because he has had a full pre-season, which he's not had in 10 years, I think we will see the best Alexis Sanchez. We just got to give him time, I think. But this season, I think he has to perform after not having the great season last year, really.
Great. Well, I really enjoyed your points, pal, and please do call in again.
Yeah, right. Cheers, Mark.
Thank you. Keep calls coming in. We're going to try and keep them short tonight. I know normally on a Monday night we give everyone about 5, sometimes 10 minutes, but tonight I want to keep it quick fire, so have your points ready, and we should be able to get through quite a few of you. We've had a super chat here from Peter Cipriano. He says, once we get Lukaku back starting, our spine is much stronger. We fought hard. It's great to see some dynamism in the midfield from Pogba and Fred. If we had Lukaku of last season playing up front for 90 minutes tonight, you would have seen an even better midfield performance than what we saw. You know, they would have been able to support the attack. They couldn't tonight. Rashford was poor tonight. I like Rashford, but he was poor tonight. And I'm not going to lie that he was. He didn't hold the ball up. He didn't give us a platform to build upon. Lukaku will do that. We know he will. So that will improve for United very, very soon as Lukaku gets his fitness. And the great thing is, when it comes to Romelu Lukaku, when it comes to people like him, he will be back fit for the next game, because we will have what we got. We're not playing till a week on Sunday, so we've got 9 days till the next game. Tyrone, can you hear me? I think it's connected. Hello.
Hi mate, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. You? What are you thinking?
I think the midfield trio is quite good at the moment. I don't want him to change anything. I don't want him to bring Matic back just yet. I think we should go with them for the next couple games and see how they get on.
I was thinking. I mean, previous caller said it as well. I don't know how long Matic. I don't think Matic is back for Brighton. I don't think he's back in training yet. So that could be a positive that we get to see him there. But I do think once Matic is back, I can't see him not playing Matic.
I don't know. I think he might stick with Pereira. You know, I think he might stick with him.
I tell you what, if he does do that, then I thought. I mean, I don't know whether you heard Jose Mourinho's reaction after the game, but it was like he'd been listening to all of you lot. A lot of the things he was saying, like, you know, he wanted to bring Martial on, but he couldn't because he didn't have another substitution. You know, he really praised Luke Shaw and Pereira when he didn't need to. Spoke about, you know, I haven't got the players, but we're going to try and give it a go. He basically said we didn't play that well, but there were glimpses of how I want to play. So all the right things being said.
Yeah, I mean, I was encouraged. The only thing that really got me was like Sanchez. I mean, I still just, it's going to take a lot for him to convince me, because I think if he carries on playing like that, I reckon Martial will be able to force him out.
Oh yeah, I mean that's why I was encouraged by what Mourinho said, because I think it was crying out for Martial to come out. I don't think Mata was brilliant, but I thought Sanchez, realistically, I mean, we've got to give him a few more games, but there was no improvement from last season at all. Trying all these hard passes, not really particularly quick. I mean, realistically, he could have, if he'd have put a Marcus Albrighton mask on, you would have thought he was that. You know, he didn't look like Alexis Sanchez, and he hasn't.
I mean, I was looking at the game and I was thinking, if Chong was on the right-hand side instead of Matic, and Martial on the left instead of Sanchez, we could have scored like a few more. Like we would have really stretched Leicester. But when you've got, I mean, Matt is a good player. I like him a lot, but he's just not got the pace. And Sanchez, I mean, he's come in, and I'm not saying he's a slow player, but he's just not somebody who can get away from a defender. I just don't know what's happened to him. He's not the player that I saw at Arsenal. It's like we've signed somebody who's past his peak, when we should have signed someone like Pulisic, someone who's gonna, you know, make a big difference to the team.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get a few more calls on, Tyrone, but thanks for calling in.
All right.
And I'll speak to you again soon, pal.
All right, take care. Bye.
You too, pal. Yeah, it's interesting about Sanchez, isn't it? I mean, it's too early days to say we're going to win a title. It's too early days to say everything's going to go wrong, and it's too early days to say that Sanchez is going to be like he was in the first 4 months, the last 4 months of the season that we had him. But I didn't see a lot from Sanchez tonight. It might just be the left wing. I don't know whether the left wing suits him or not, to be honest with you. But yeah, he definitely needed to come off, and we definitely needed to bring Martial on. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
How you doing, pal? And what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the game today.
Yeah, go on.
I was really impressed with our midfield today. I thought it was strong, energetic, and I'd love to see that midfield three together again. For me, it's going to be a shame when Matic comes back, because it is going to probably pull Pereira out of the team. But then again, that could also be a positive, because it can give Pereira like a chance to, you know, see what Matic does and how he can improve his game and adapt his game to Matic's level, which would be good. For me, Rashford, not a striker, never again. For me, he's too weak to bully defenders, and I'd rather see him on the right side or the left and switch him between Sanchez and him than him up front.
Yeah, I mean, look, Rashford didn't play particularly well tonight. I think you've hit on something that a lot of fans have hit on tonight about how Manchester United, Matic and the positivity around him. What did you think about Luke Shaw? I mean, that's something that nobody's really discussed about tonight.
Luke Shaw, with him, I guess it was a good and a bad game. I guess sometimes he looked really good going forward, supporting the attack, and at times Leicester were going through his side, but more it was going through the right side, Darmian and Mata. But I think Luke Shaw could be our left back. I liked how Mourinho acted when he did score his goal. He congratulated him. But I think he could potentially get in over Young if he continues to play and improve.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that, mate. Good points, and please do call in again.
Thank you.
Cheers,
pal.
Bye. Yeah, I just wanted to ask about Luke Shaw there because Sky gave him man of the match, but nobody's really called in about him. Yeah, I've seen a few people in there. I don't know. Look, I'd love to get somebody on tonight who wants to come on and tell us why Fred didn't play well, because there are a few people in the live comments saying that he's been bad, and then there's a few people saying I don't get the Fred hate, as Passer just said there. So I'd love to get somebody on who has an opinion on that, but let's get another call and see what they've got to say. I didn't drop my beer, Michael Rose. It's the second time I've spilt my glass of water all over my laptop, and it's the second time I haven't actually electrocuted myself, which is always a positive. But yeah, for those people joining a little bit late, some real good positive comments from Jose Mourinho, and 3 points for Manchester United. And we can sit back now and watch the rest of the league and see how they're going to do, because we've got 3 points in our pocket. Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, Mark.
Yes, how you doing, pal? And what do you want to talk about?
Hi, Mark Russell here, third time caller.
Okay, and what do you want to talk about, mate?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about today's performance. Yeah, I think the most important thing was that the boys get over the line and get the 3 points, and I think they did that comfortably, aside from a few mistakes here and there. But I think the boys performed really well. I also don't understand the hate on Fred. He's a young Brazilian player who's just came into, I don't know, the biggest team in the world and played a good 70 minutes. And honestly, the last good South American we had was probably Anderson, and it wasn't that good.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, Mohamed Hassan said Fred was great. I mean, I'm trying to get into this because obviously we're all about fan opinion here, and I mean, he gave the ball away a couple of times. He lost the ball a couple of times, but that's his first 70 minutes in Premier League football against people like Ndidi.
Yeah.
Ndidi for Leicester is very, very good. And it was certainly a better than average performance. And I just can't wait to see what he's going to be like after 5-10 games.
Almost definitely. I agree, because you could see that he wasn't happy with his own performance. And that's what I look for in a player. You could tell when he made a bad pass that he wasn't happy about it, and he really apologized to his teammates. And he's just catching the flow of the game, the speed of the game. This boy came from Shakhtar Donetsk, and he's playing in the biggest league, in the biggest team. And I honestly think he had a good 70 minutes. If he had a hat-trick, we wouldn't be sitting here saying, oh, Fred is the next big thing. We'd probably be saying the same thing. It's his first game. Let's all calm down, and hopefully he kicks on and continues to do the same.
Passion, leadership, not leadership, but passion, pace, ability to switch the play. I think he looks like
skill.
I mean, I was going to say he looks like he could be a great signing. He's probably really our only signing, but he certainly looks like a player that I'm going to really enjoy watching, especially if he plays more regularly with Pogba, who wasn't even fit, and Pereira, who I thought was really good. Who was your man of the match tonight?
Man of the match, Jose Mourinho for that celebration. I needed to see something like that. But seriously, I'd have to give it to It's a difficult one. I have to give it to Eric Bailey. Eric Bailey had a very good game. I think he didn't put a foot wrong, aside from the one challenge, which looked like a penalty. But fortunately, the referee didn't have a clear view of that. But I think Eric Bailey was solid. If he can stay fit and get like 10 games and rest a little bit, I think Eric Bailey will be very vital for us in the central defensive area. I need to give a shout out to Luke Shaw. I've been one of his biggest critics, but I think for him to get that goal towards the end of the game, and I always thought he was not fit. It just, I don't know, it just proved me and a lot of other Man United fans wrong. And I don't think there's anyone out there who would be angry with Shaw for proving us wrong. This is exactly what we expected from him. And I'm not blowing his trumpet here, but I think this was really good for him to get this first goal on the first day of the Premier League and just kick on from there like the rest of the squad.
Thanks for calling in, pal. Really good points, and I'll speak to you again soon.
Thanks, Mark, and great job you're doing there, guys.
Thank you. I'm glad he said the Eric Bailly man of the match, because that was the one I went with. But also, I'm glad that he said, can he stay fit? Because that's the problem with Eric Bailly. He is an absolute beast, and he's the one that many of us want to be the centre-back. And I'd like to see him given more time with Lindelof, but he's got to stay fit. And I liked the way that he said Jose Mourinho was man of the match, because to be honest with you, Jose Mourinho quite rightly does get quite a lot of criticism. He has been very negative. Not just in the way he is, but the way he treats our players, the way he... some of the things he said in the press conference. But I just felt tonight that we sort of got a glimpse, little glimpses of how we can play. You know, the majority of it was the same as last season, but there were some glimpses of positivity. And there was also some glimpses of the real Jose Mourinho, the manager that I want to really get behind. I back Jose. I've always said he deserves this third year. But I did genuinely see some glimpses today. Everything he said after the match, I agreed with. His positivity for the goals. I've always said this. It's not rocket science, Jose. We're not complex creatures, Manchester United fans. If you love us, we will love you. If you react and show positivity, we will react and show positivity back. You've got to play a certain brand of football, of course. But if you celebrate goals like that, we'll give it you back. And I think somebody's had a word in his ear, because he seems to be getting it. And what he came out with afterwards, look, we're never going to know the players that he wanted, because it can't, quite rightly, it can't be announced. But we know he's not been given them. He's made that abundantly clear. He had a list, he had plans, he's not been given them. He's now got to get on with the players that he's got. But it could be the best achievement ever. And I tell you what, if he can bring us into that achievement, if he can bring us into that siege mentality where we just join together and we go for it, and there is improvement in the way we play, it can be a very, very powerful thing if he can get the fans on side. And I'll certainly be the front of the queue leading that on, trying to get you lot to come with me. I want to back Jose, and I saw glimpses tonight. I mean, the next game against Brighton, you might have Fellaini in the midfield with McTominay and Matic, and we might be playing hoofball football, and I'll be going, I don't want to see that. But little steps make a big difference. Anas Ahmad says it's Carrick. He's telling Jose the right way. I hope so. He did look at him a few times during the game, so he might be right with that. Mourinho is starting to rate Luke Shaw, says Mohamed Hassan. He absolutely loved Pereira as well in the post-match reaction as well. Porto, Jose running down the touchline, says Fozia Amal. You know what? If he does it and he means it, we'll feed off it. That's what we need to see. And Sanchez was very disappointing. I agree. Magic season ahead, says David Bird. Let's not run away with ourselves. Mourinho said, let's see where we are in November. Great win, but we are not winning the league, Mark said. Sad, but we will ride the storm, says Marshall. £60 million for Fred. Dear God, he just lumps it into no man's land, says Banaras. I think he's a bit of a troll. I've seen Banaras say that a few times, to be honest with you. But I would love somebody to call in and genuinely tell us why Fred didn't play well tonight, because I haven't seen anything at all that would suggest that at all. I thought he was. I thought he played very, very, very well. Let's get Carl on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How you doing, pal? You all right?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Just watched the game.
How you feeling? What do you want to talk about?
Pretty much. I'll give an overall insight. I thought it was pretty good. I must say. First game, coming off, not having enough time with the guys, getting 3 points. That's very good. So overall, I thought saw glimpses of the old Mourinho way. But then, 2 goals scored, you can't really beat that. I want to get in on Fred, though. Myself wasn't so impressed with him. I must be honest. And the reason for that was he was moving the ball decent. I'm no problem with that. But he was getting nudged off the ball too easily. Especially playing as a number 6. I can see him getting dropped. If he puts in another 2 more performance and Matic is fit, I could see him getting dropped for that reason if he continues, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, look, I can't argue with that. I thought Fred played well, but physically, this is a new league for him. It's totally different to where he's come from in the Ukrainian league. But I think that for 70 minutes and his first real game in the Premier League, I thought he did very, very well. I mean, would you agree with that? Do you just think he's going to be a bad signing, or do you think that there is potential there?
I think with his age, I think he will get mature and he will grow with the league. But just that was my only downfall. He just didn't look. He was too. He remind me. I don't know if you remember a game with John Stones getting nudged off a ball by Firmino. He just always, every time the tackle gets in and he has the ball, he get nudges off, like real easy. And it's going to cost us, I believe, if we push on this way, if he continues this way and it doesn't pick up as fast to the league pace.
What do you think for the season ahead for Manchester United? I know it's very early days, but what were you thinking before the game, and has anything changed for you after that game?
To be honest, no, nothing hasn't changed. After that first 10 minutes, it went flat. And let's be honest, Leicester was really the better team. If we didn't get that penalty, which a little bit questionable, I believe, but I will take it. It did hit him on the arm. But no, I'm not satisfied. I'll be honest. I'm just happy it's 3 points, but I'm really not satisfied with the gameplay. Pogba looked good today, though, I must say. Pogba looked very good. I'm always critical of him, but he looked very good today, I must say that. So if we can see some more of that with him, probably you never know. But I don't think we're not near there as yet. I'll say 3rd place if we continue this way.
Okay, thanks for calling in. Good points, and please do call in again, Carl.
All right, thanks, Mark. Take care.
You too, pal. What was I going to say in response to that? Something hit my head there. Yeah, I know what I was going to say. Look, I said about Mourinho that he's wrong to be so negative about this Leicester game. He's been talking about it for weeks. I don't like the fact that we're playing on Friday and all this, and I've got no players and this, that and the other. But the reality is, there was an element of truth in that really came home to roost tonight. He did manage to get a good defence. He managed to get, obviously, De Gea back, and the midfield was fine. But where that team went wrong, and Sanchez and Mata have got no excuse because they were on the US tour. They should have been absolutely bang-on fit, and their performances tonight, for me, weren't quite good enough. But the problem he had is that you're up against Wes Morgan and Harry Maguire, who are very strong centre-backs, and Marcus Rashford just doesn't know what to do against those. And what else does Jose Mourinho do? It's a massive concern for Manchester United if Lukaku gets injured as to who we could play up front, because Rashford just couldn't hold the ball up. Didn't really, when he did get the ball, his passing was off, and they dealt with him too easy. I think if we'd had Lukaku tonight, we would have been a lot more comfortable, but that really did make it a difficult game for us tonight, and Jose couldn't do anything about that because Lukaku literally just wasn't fit, ready to go. A few people saying paper in the cracks. Well, we've not fixed the holes, have we? We've not fixed the holes, and that's a bit of a problem. Samuel, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Mark?
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, I think you've been on before, haven't you? Got your own YouTube channel?
Yeah, that's correct. I was on a while ago. Usually, it's difficult to catch you because in Australia, it's usually 4 a.m. or something like that when the game ends. So, yeah. What's
the name of your channel again?
Guardy FIFA.
Okay. Right, I'm just going to be nosy and have a look at it. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Well, I haven't watched your show. I just came back from a little walk. I'm surprised to actually see you on still. But I wanted to just talk about the positivity from that game. And just talking about Luke Shaw, who I thought put in a good performance, and Andres Pereira, who I thought put in a good performance, and Paul Pogba, who I thought put in a good performance, and Bailly. And there was a lot of positives to take from that game. I don't know what people have been saying here, and I don't know what people are going to say at the ground either. I'm excited to actually watch the fan cams later. But I surprised because it seems like the narrative coming into the season was that we would really struggle, but it just didn't feel like. I don't know. It didn't feel like we were as bad as I was expecting, and maybe that's because I was persuaded a little bit by the media or by Twitter. But we were a lot more controlled than I thought. I mean, we did have moments of a little bit of shakiness, but I felt so confident in Bailly and Lindelof today. I cannot, for the life of me, see Jose. Well, I can see him replacing him, but if I was Jose, I wouldn't replace them. I think they're absolutely fantastic together. Lindelof was, I'd say, a little bit slow off the mark today, but Bailly covers him so well. I just think they work so well together, and you can see the camaraderie between the team. When Luke Shaw scored that goal, you saw every single player go there, pat him on the head, and just it seemed like the boys are actually rallying together. Which is, I think, the most positive thing I took out of that game was it looked like it was all good. It didn't look like there was any tension. Now, I guess Martial's probably the only one player now that I'm a little bit worried about. When Pogba was coming off, I saw him shaking hands with Martial, and he didn't look that happy, to be honest with you, but he never really does look happy. So that would be the one thing. Other than that, I'd say the rest of the team, it looks like they are getting around each other, and I think that is a massive positive.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that the positivity is certainly something that we need to cling on to, because I just feel that there's been a little bit of a change in the fans are feeling more positive, because there's almost like a siege mentality now. It's like, the season started, the transfer window is closed, and we go with what we've got. And, there was certainly an element of paper in the cracks tonight. There was certainly echoes of the past tonight. But I think Jose Mourinho's reactions on the touchline, I think his reaction after the game as well, and also talking about glimpses of how he wants us to play, and certainly the personnel that we had out there tonight. It can all go wrong, but for the moment, I think people just want to support the club again.
Yeah, I'd completely agree with you. And you know what it was? I did find myself really wanting, even players that I don't necessarily enjoy, similar to you, like Fellaini and McTominay. Fellaini, I don't actually like him personally as well as on the pitch, even though I do get called Fellaini quite a bit because of my hair. But McTominay I actually like as an individual, and even as a player. I think if we give him a couple more seasons, I don't mind him. But again, on the football pitch, I don't really like him. But even then, when they came on, I was actually really getting around them and wishing the best for them. The only person that I just was a bit disappointing, and I've always liked him at the club, but it's not worked out, and he should have gone this summer, was Darmian. That's the only player on the pitch today at any point that I was just, time after time, I was just thinking, what are you doing? Either going forward or defensively. I think he had maybe one interception or one good tackle, but he was the only player that I wasn't really getting around. But the rest of the players, it was, like you said, a real siege mentality. Let's do well just to shut everyone up. Let's just let us stick together, not because necessarily we like everyone at the club or we like what's going on at the club, but let's stick together because, screw everyone else pretty much. And I think I agree with you with that, with the siege mentality. I think everyone hating us brings us closer together. And I think that's actually very important for the fans to stick together, stick with the players, back the players. Even if you don't like them, back the players as much as you can, because I really do believe that makes the world of difference.
Definitely. Well, thanks for calling in, pal. And do give us a shout out for your YouTube channel as well. Is it?
All right. Thanks, Mark. It's Gardy FIFA. Gardie. Yes, Gardy FIFA.
There we go. Well, everyone give it a subscribe, and thanks for calling in, pal.
Thanks, Mark. Talk to you soon.
Ta. Yeah, you know what? As well, it just echoes what I said through the game and after the game on my match reaction as well. Is that it's very clear that the fans do back the manager, and the players are together, and the problem is it's just the style of football. I think it comes down to the style of football. That is the problem. And if Jose gets us playing the style of football that the fans want to see and the players want to play, things can only get better. I don't think there is a problem with the players and the manager. I think a lot of those things have been resolved over the summer. I think it's just a matter of us playing better football now. It was a really good goal, David, and that reminds me, please do drop a like on the video because we've had loads of calls tonight because I'm keeping the calls short. So please do drop a like on the video. Michael Rose says, have we got fan cams tonight? We have. I just keep checking actually when we've got a caller, because they're up there. We've got one being uploaded now. So as soon as that is up, I'll end the show. But until then, we'll take more. We'll take more calls. That's what we're here to do. Enjoying taking them as well. And let's see who else we can get on. Let's see if we get Lucas on. Lucas, can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello, you're live on the United Stand. What do you want to talk about?
I just keep checking. I just want to say the negativity around the Manchester United fan base is appalling. I want to say that it is positivity. We need to keep a positive mindset, and we need to believe in our players more than anything. Because no matter what City are doing, no matter what Chelsea are doing or anybody else, we need to go forward. Lukaku, Pogba, Sanchez. We need to take a positive attitude on this.
Yeah, is this something that you feel after the game, or is this something that you felt all summer in relation to the negativity?
All summer, because I think the press has been the most diabolical press that I've seen in 10 years against United. Everything is against Manchester United. No matter what we do, no matter who we sign. I think it's diabolical, to be honest with you. I think we need to stay together, and I think we need to be, together, and we need to fight this league together. You know what I mean? And I think, we need to fight against no matter who is the top of the league. It might not be City, it might be Arsenal, it might be Chelsea. No matter who it is. We need to come together, and we need to stop arguing with each other on who's good, who's bad. We need to, just come together, really, and stop arguing with each other. And the rants outside the stadium is one of the main things that I've rang up, is because I'm sick of hearing people complaining outside of the stadium. I know the football's not great. I understand that, but Louis van Gaal's signings aren't the best. They're probably the worst signings that we've ever made as a football club. And Jose Mourinho is trying to, fix that.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, I think that Jose Mourinho tonight, especially that post, I don't know whether you heard it, the match reaction post from him.
I heard it.
I think that's exactly. I think things like that will stop the negativity. I think the problem over the last few weeks is that Jose Mourinho himself has, understandably, I think he's been very, very, very underwhelmed by the board, and he said it again tonight. But he has been very negative in his press conferences, and I think that doesn't help. But I think tonight, the way he reacted to the goals, the way he reacted after the game. Hopefully he sees that if he, we're not stupid. United fans aren't stupid. They know that the situation isn't ideal. But I think they'll respond better if they feel that, yeah, we haven't got everything we need, but we're Manchester United. Let's like you say, let's fight for it. And hopefully we'll see that from Jose a little bit more now, because he needs the fans. If the board aren't going to back him, you've got to have the fans. And the way he'll get the fans, if he celebrates goals like that, and if he is passionate and gives it. So hopefully it's a two-way street, and we start to get that from Jose, because he has been a bit odd in 2 years.
I think the most positive thing out of this is the fact that he's got a new backroom staff, and he's got Michael Carrick and McKenna. To come in with little adjustments, and the fact that he's got Fred, who's a lot more mobile than Herrera. I'm not saying Herrera is the worst midfielder in the Premier League. He's a very, very good midfielder, and he does the job for Manchester United, but he's not that next step of quality that we need in that midfield. And I feel like Fred will allow Pogba to flourish in that midfield, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I do agree with that. I think that they're a lot, although they're very different, there are similarities there that we don't get with, you know, last season it's all about Pogba and he's the only creative midfield player we've got, and I think Fred will. Well, he set that chance up for Sanchez, didn't he? Even though it was offside, and I don't think we've got players who can do that. Anyway, I could talk to you all night. Really good call. I don't, you know, I think you make some really interesting points, Lucas. So thanks for calling in, and please do call in again.
Thank you very much, Mark. See you soon.
Yeah, cheers, pal.
Soon. Ciao, mate. Bye.
And I think, you know, I think that is important. I think, look, if your opinion's not wrong, doubters are still going to have their doubts. Mourinho outers are going to still be Mourinho out. But I do think that tonight is really just about getting the 3 points, and also probably more important than the 3 points was Jose Mourinho's comments and the way he acted before, during, and after the game. That's the sort of thing, you know. He is Manchester United manager. We haven't had the investment that he wanted, but we are in a situation where we've got 3 points, and we could get another 3 points next week against Brighton. Then we've got Spurs, which is obviously a very big game, even if we're not going for the title and we're just going for top 4. So we just got to take it game by game. And if these glimpses that Jose Mourinho's talking about are right, then we're in for an absolutely fantastic improvement at United, which is what anybody really wants. So I'm encouraged by it. I really am, and it is very interesting. Right, the first fan cam is ready to go. It's quite an interesting one. I'm just about to hit public on it now, so you can literally go straight from this video to that. And I haven't uploaded them. They get done by Flex, but the first headline of it, Lucas might not be happy about this. Is the board are right not to back Jose. So get yourself over to the homepage and give it a watch. I'm just about to whack it public. Let's add it to a playlist for now as well. It's published. Thanks everyone tonight. I hope, you know what, please do drop a like on the video, and please do give your comments below. We've sort of mixed it up a little bit tonight. What we've done is we've done the my match reaction straight after the watch along, which is just a short 10-minute thing, which people said they missed. Then we've waited 20 minutes so we can get Jose Mourinho's match reaction, and then we've brought that into your show, which is your fan call in for people who don't go to the games, who are worldwide. So, and I think we've taken over 10 calls in just under an hour, which I think is really good. So if you've enjoyed it, let me know. It's new season. We were willing to try different things out. First fan cam is up. Just go to the homepage. It is up. And the headline is, I'm just about to go and watch it myself. This is the exciting thing. The club are right not to back Jose. So interesting to see what these fan cams have got to say. I don't know what's... it is up. I've just put it up on the homepage. Let me just double check. Click the United stand. Yeah, it is there. It's had 21 views. It's on the homepage under the Manchester United News 2017-18 playlist. So get over there and give it a watch. Let's see what he's got to say. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm back tomorrow morning at about 11 o'clock UK time with a sort of tactics debrief, which I did last season, which people liked, using heat maps and stuff like that. So join me for that tomorrow. Thanks everybody for watching, and get onto them fan cams. I like it. It works seamlessly. We go from your call in into the fan cams. I think it's going to work well. Thanks everyone. Subscribe if you're new, and let's go and see what this fan cam is all about.